Good day, my friends. This is the Sunday version of this thing of ours. We do a twice daily live recording, a twice daily live give and take where you can join in, ask questions, speak with your fellow conspirators in the conspiratorium. We talk about a variety of subjects, a variety of things, which I find literally and actually and truly, without a doubt, 100% fascinating, but in a different way. And I am of the position and of the opinion that you will find it interesting as well. That there are things that, if I show you something, this is my Dollar General store or my Dollar Tree, if I show you this and you do this, I like that. I mean, you're looking at everything, where it was made. Look at that. If somebody does like this is most people in the news. Got it? This is most people. That's the way most people look at the news. Oh, that's a story about. Oh, okay. Well, Trump's not going to be debating. Oh, that's it. I was watching something the other day, and I thought to myself, "This is so interesting. There's a duality here's going on. First of all, some people, not necessarily recognizing anything that is either appearing before them or not appearing before them. Does that make any sense? Let me give you the example. There's another one which I find interesting. And this I think is critical. We talked the other day about something. There was a particular person. I don't want to mention his name necessarily, but he's very, very good, very, very talented. Okay. And he was anyway, Max Blumenthal. Very good. Gray Zone talking about something. And I asked somebody, I said, it was very good. I saw that. Yes, I agree. Now, here's my question. What do you want to do with that story? What do you think that story means? Well, what do you do with that story? What do you do with it? Okay, tell me how that benefits you other than just knowing something. Tell me, how does that benefit you? How does this equate into changing the elections or the future or the history or nothing? It was another one of those, oh, that was interesting. Great. What does that mean? I don't know. Why is this important? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Fascinating. Utterly fascinating. Truly fascinating. Now, there's so much to be going on and so much to be discussing going on right now. And I want to discuss that with you. I want to thank you, of course, for being here. And I want to bring up our two sponsors. By the way, yesterday was so funny. During the course of this, I didn't even mention this, but I got to mention it now because it shows you the hubristic sense of absolute cluelessness on the part of people. This is so interesting. First of all, I talked about these are, as you know, we are capitalists. Anybody here a communist? Anybody here work for free? Anybody here on the dole? I'm not. Anybody want to use their particular talents, their abilities to promote and to help with the production of it? I do. Anybody like business? I do. Anybody want to? I do. Great. So yesterday when I was talking about one of my favorite topics, our friends from My Patriot Supply, where you can save $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit by going to preparewithlionel.com. You know what somebody wrote? I'm not real crazy about your infomercials. I swear to God. Translation, I'm not paying anything for this. This is free. I'm walking into your room, your church, so to speak. And I just want you to know, I don't like this. It's that presumptuous kind of a Karen mentality. It's the people who go crazy on planes. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding you. I could not believe. So to this person, you still are entitled to $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit. This is the part that I find, I'm thinking to myself, what do people not understand? I'm going to say this very, very quickly. Food is never going to be extinct. Food, the world is not going to be a parking lot. I mean, maybe after a meteor hits or something. We're not talking about that. We're talking about supply chains. We're talking about all types of things that affect the ability for you to receive and to enjoy food. That's the issue. That is what's the issue is. A variety of things from supply chain breakdowns to fires to you name it. So it is preparewithlionel.com. Go right now and save $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit. Go and look for yourself. Just look. Go there and you'll see, wow. And second of all, our friends at mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Love these people unabashedly. Love Mike. Love the crew. Love the product. Love everything about it. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Receive a free gift and avail yourselves of the incredible, the litany, the endless closeouts and sales and layup. It's just incredible. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. And of course, remember this, preparewithlionel.com. Okay, is that good? Good. Can you imagine somebody actually, how do you explain that? The sense of this hubristic form? I don't know what the word is. How do you explain to people this sense of hubris? Imagine somebody doing it. Imagine going into a movie theater and before the movie starts, you're standing there and you say, "Excuse me, yes, I'm not crazy about these previews. If it's all the same to you, can we just get to the movie? I'm sorry." And when I'm in this movie theater, I get this playbill. What are these ads for restaurants and things? Excuse me, can you only just talk about the who's in the play? Why? Who am I? I'm sort of a self-entitled person. That's who I am. What do you mean? Who am I? I'm just telling you that this is what I believe and this is my thing. I'm self-entitled. It's something, isn't it? It really it's just it's one of these just fascinates me. Now, before we begin, I want to tell you something which I think ladies you might understand because I think women are a little bit smarter than men, especially when they see the notions of culture. And the reason for this is this: as you most probably know, dear friends, as Breitbart said, one of the many things he said that was was that politics is downstream from culture. Absolutely 100% correct. Okay. Mrs. Dell and I saw something last night on Apple TV. What was it called? Supermodels or Supermodel. Okay. Now I guarantee you people that I don't get it. It's stupid. I don't know what you're talking about. Or you might, this would have been what, the 80s? When would you think that period of time was? Mid to late 80s into the 90s. It was fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Now, let me tell you why I am an enlightened human being. I know this sounds, I know this sounds like, what? Yes. You know why I'm enlightened? Do you know why I am so, in many respects, actually, spiritually, intellectually, and socially content? Because I am fascinated by the interconnectivity of things. Life is a museum to me. I'm walking through the museum today on this rainy New York City day. And I like to see things. And I like the way things are connected. And this was a time before the internet, before social media, before influencers. And it dealt with something called beauty, fashion, style, whatever you want to call it, versus today, sluts, skanks, skeeves, slatterns, trollops, absolutely just the lowest scum of the barrel influencers, people barely knew, twerking, OnlyFans, nude pictures from your, oh God, the internet devolving kids and women. And there was, I don't ask me how I was watching something. There was a woman who was showing I don't know how, but she was showing how I don't know her name. It was on this thing. It just pops up. And I found this interesting. She was putting together or trying to change or install uh, a like a washer dryer, and she was changing the plug or something. Anyway, she's basically wearing overalls with nothing on underneath. She's hanging out, and she's saying, this is a 3/4 plug." And I'm thinking, she's wearing nude. And then what is this? Okay, fine. I don't want to stop it. I don't want to, that's the way it goes. I'm looking at it as an analyst. Mid 80s. What happened then? Mid 80s, post 70s, post World War, there was this thing called maybe sort of, you can go back into the days of Wall Street. I don't know. But it was glamour, style. It was a different time. MTV, fashion, no tattoos. No tattoos. Nobody had a tattoo. The only person with a tattoo, was, I think, maybe it's like a Marine or your grandpa or something. None of the models had it. Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista, Naomi Campbell. Who was one with the mole? I'm so Cindy Crawford. That was about it. There were some others here and there. Okay. Scavullo, Versace, the Vogue magazine, Richard Avedon, style, fashion, elegance, class, bitchy, right around, again, you don't understand what social media have done until you go back and look at something and look at how we celebrated what was considered class. How do we do it today, class? No such thing as class. You have no idea what that is. As evidenced by people who say, "Excuse me, could you lose the infomercials?" I know I have really no position to say anything, but they were always presumptuous people, but not like today. Oh, no, 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 no. Now, as you watch this, these were the days of Vogue. Ladies, do you have any idea of what I'm talking about regarding when I say Vogue? Not Madonna, not whatever, but what that meant. I remember Diana Vreeland, when Valentino, when people dressed and people were into, really. Watch American Psycho and look how they talked about clothes, and today is gone. Nothing. How do you show wealth? We don't know. This was the influx of the tech barons. It killed the notion of houses and, Ralph Lauren, and now you've got slobs. Zuckerberg and the usual stuff, SBF and Samuel Bankman Fried, they're just slobs and skanks and tattooed, covered, the nadir of society. No class, no fashion. Okay, I'm watching this thing. It's very interesting. And you hear how they were created. And the most interesting thing I heard was that there were runway models and there were print models, and then the two merged. And George Michael came. It changed everything. Okay, fine. Now, then all of a sudden came this thing called Kate Moss. Heroin chic. Fascinating. Grunge. That Kurt Cobain, I never got it, changed everything. Models were tall, 6 feet tall. Kate Moss was like, what are you talking about? She was like a second shift on a Flint Plastics foundry. Well, what is this? Watch it. I could watch things forever. And then listen to this. Listen to this. You either get this or you don't. I think you'll get it, but some just don't. I know people right now are sitting there saying, I don't know what. Why is he fascinated by watching something that's over? It's called history. It's called progression. It's called progression, regression, whatever it is, having been there, but also see how it works now. With the fall of the Soviet Union, 91, all of a sudden, guess what happened? Eastern European, Polish, Lithuanian, Russian, Ukrainian. They came out of nowhere. And there was a deluge. You could buy 50 Ukrainian blondes who looked, or whoever it was, that looked identical to one Cindy Crawford. Why is that important? Do you know what has never been, you don't talk about? How many of you have heard about the Ukrainian, I guess, surrogacy? Listen to what I'm saying. Again, I always watch trends. I watch what's happening. Okay. Years ago, there was this thing where all of a sudden people said, and I saw this when Beamers and BMWs came along, and then Range Rovers, and then this, and then when adoption came about. At first it was Russian kids. Russians. Okay. Russian adoption. Then there's something with Putin had some problem with Russia. Then Chinese. Not Japanese. I meant Chinese. Okay, good. Now, you know where the huge, or as we say in the kitchen here, the huge breeding ground, so to speak, for surrogacy? Ukraine. Why? Blonde, white, blue eyes. Blonde hair is going to be genetically eliminated before you know it. Blonde hair, whiteness. That's the premium. Oh, you never hear about that one. Oh, no. No, by the way, I'm talking to my sources yesterday, and I heard a story, and it makes so much sense, about a very famous entertainer, I'm not going to mention who was so involved in the most hideous treatment of women, and especially foreign, tantamount to trafficking. You can't believe the horror of this. Now, you're not going to hear this on Max Blumenthal. Bless his heart. And I like him. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to. Sometimes I use a name repeatedly, not out of mocking derision, but it's just top of mind. But you're not going to hear this because they don't think that's not as important as bricks. Oh, no. Yes, it is. Watch what happens. So when I saw this thing yesterday about the Ukrainian models coming in, and I'm thinking, oh, look at this. Look how this works. Look at these trends. And what was modeling in the old way? A form of slavery. It was almost like trafficking. These girls were taken. Parents would drop these women off. The Ford modeling elite, they would stay in these dorms, which is what Epstein did. And these girls, 15, 16 years old, from little towns, they would go sign these deals, and they would be used, and they had to be rail thin. Some of them would pass out because they had to remain skinny. All I saw was connections, similarities. Wow. It was like exploding. Look, we're going like full circle. It's another aspect of the evolution of our society. And look, words that we don't even care about. It's fashion, class, nobody. Now it's maybe hot. I don't even know if anybody cares about this. Elegance, forget it. Okay. Next, a story which was so interesting. Why is Joe Biden seemingly, now here's the hypothesis. You got to ask yourself, don't answer the question right away. Just ask yourself the question. Ask, why is Joe Biden seemingly being pushed out? Why is he calling LL Cool J, LL Ray J, can't get the name right. Calling him, that boy. Here's one for you. I gotta get this quote. There was this. Okay, you can go back and you can see on May 6, 1990, look at this video of Frank Sinatra. And he says something to the effect of, they said, what do you think about the passing of Sammy Davis Jr. And he says something like, "He was a good boy." It was the weirdest thing you've ever heard. It was, they did not like, they it was weird. They liked him but didn't like him. I don't know what the story was. Remember the My Brit business? This is probably before your time. But this was Sinatra, and he picked the weirdest way of saying he was a good boy. It was a boy. So why is it, do you think, that Joe Biden is using these terms, boy? Boy. Now, most people, I do not think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if people remember the historical significance of the word boy. They call me Mr. Tip. The word boy. That's hysterical. That goes back to, this was Joe Biden. Here is my question. Do you believe Joe Biden is a racist? Now, the next presupposes a question is, what is a racist? What does this mean? And I did one on my private channel, by the way. This is, I can spend so much time without any feelings, any concern, any thoughts whatsoever of people misunderstanding, worried about some algorithms that picks up, but you have no idea what words you can and can't say. So it's the strangest thing in the world. But in any event, do you truly, honestly, really, actually, seriously believe that Joe Biden is a racist? Now, I know you don't like him. I know you don't like him. I know you don't care for him. I don't either. I don't care for him. By the way, here's the link to the, this is an infomercial. This is a link to the private channel. If you want to hear some stuff, because I can you go into and speak differently. But do you believe that Joe Biden is a racist? Racist. And define racist. What does that mean? What does that mean? Go ahead. What does that mean? If somebody said to you, let me tell you something. I hate Alsatians. You know what's, I hate them more. See, Tony Garrett, a racist? No, ignorant, yes. Let me get this straight. It's very interesting. Tony from the UK, welcome, my friend. What does racist mean? Well, let me tell you what it doesn't mean. Not liking people. Let's say somebody doesn't like black people, white people, Jews, Italians, Catholics, whatever it is. Let's say you don't like them. And you never do anything to exhibit that particular dislike. What does that mean? Nothing. Nothing. You hate women, you hate whatever. Nothing. So what? What does it mean? Nothing. He never, I hate Alsatians. I don't meet them. I don't know them. Is there anything wrong with thinking something? No. How do you make somebody not a racist? You can't. Whatever that means. People are using, there was this clown, this absolute fraud at Boston, or somebody who did this racism, anti-racism, I can't remember his name, but who teaches people how not to be racist. Stop it. It's ridiculous. I don't care what, if you think climate change is hard to explain, what does racism mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Do you do anything? Now, he said some stuff before. Of course, he stole the virtues of Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd was, the Grand Cyclops or whatever. Then Hugo Black. I think Harry Truman joined the Klan for like a week or something. What does it mean to be a racist? The word means nothing. The word means nothing. It means nothing unless and until you do something. Unless and until you say, I am doing something. I am objectifying my particular belief. I believe that either white people are superior or black people are in. Let's just begin in the case of race, that white people are superior or black people are inferior, and therefore, and I'm going to do something to deal with that particular idea. I'm just not going to think it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how this thing works. I'm going to pass legislation where we're going to penalize crack cocaine more than powder cocaine because more black people use crack cocaine. And we want to put black people in prison like Kamala Harris did by putting more black folks in prison. I want to pass a law that says that anti-miscegenation laws are legal, but between blacks and whites, but whites and Asians, I don't care. I'm going to treat people differently. I'm going to have separate but equal. I'm going to have separate schools. I'm going to be a segregationist. That's a racist. I'm going to put you over here and you over here. I'm going to have a system, a double standard of treatment and availability and because of your race. That is a racist. You hear what I'm saying? That is a racist. That's what I'm talking about. What you think, I couldn't care less. I don't care. Right now, you don't know, and I know you. You can't stand more. I cannot tell you this seemingly endless list of categories of people I despise. Despise. And it's mostly attitudinal. It has to register in terms of something that they do and not something that they are. And I'm not doing this to pat myself on the back. If certain people do something and they happen to be from a group, let me give you an example. Years ago, I had a real hard time with people who were gun idiots, people who hurt the Second Amendment, people who are just, they ruin it. There are gun shows, gun things on YouTube. I don't like. We're going to see whether the 44 caliber blows a bigger hole in the thing than the wildy. And they have these human torsos with this substance that looks like flesh and whatever it is. They go, why are you doing this? Who do these people tend to be? White. They tend to be white. Almost, there might be one or two, but almost exclusively. Now, if you look at this and you say, boy, you've got a problem with white people. No. Or Southern people. No. Those people. Now, if those people happen to come from a group. Oh, another group I cannot stand. The mob wannabe. The Gavon, the Jadrul, these caricature mob wannabes, and now with these in a weird way, with all this mob stuff on YouTube, I don't know. But I just is that you're hurt. You're first of all, you're not Italian. You're Italian American, maybe. You can't even speak the language. You're an idiot. And you don't even, and you're not even in the mob. You're just like and you're a caricature, like a cowboy. I can't stand these people. Now, they happen to be Italian, almost exclusively. Well, yeah, but so what do I hate Italian? No, it's those people. Yeah, but they're all Italian. Well, that's the only way you can be this person. Yeah. If somebody says, I can't stand a slut, I mean, imagine that. People of absolute disgusting morals, people who sell their bodies and their souls, I despise. Oh, you hate women? No. Well, all these people are women. Well, the only way you can be a skeeve is to be a woman. But no, not women. These people. Does that make any sense to you? Sometimes you can find yourself. I don't like Aryans, people who, oh, you don't like white people? No. Well, all those people are white. Well, you can't be an Aryan unless it's a Chappelle sketch. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am convinced we are not anything like that. We are not across the board. All people, just don't even bother. This word racism in particular has been so used and so diluted that it doesn't mean a thing anymore. It doesn't mean a thing. If it doesn't have that swing, it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't make any difference. So the question is, do you think Joe Biden is a racist? No. No. Because he used the word boy stupidly. He's an idiot. Do you think he has a systematic dislike and distaste and hatred for black? No. That's the thing. I don't think you've ever even met somebody. What are these, like apartheid people? Boss Tweed, segregationists? I mean, now that's about as racist. Somebody who says, you, an entire group of people, I'm going to pass legislation that disqualifies you from participation by virtue of your skin. It doesn't get any more. That is clear. I've never met anybody like that. I don't even know where they are. So stop using the word racist. You got it? Stop using the word racist. You're missing the point. Now, another thing is you have one of the best examples, one of the best, how do I say this? This is, if you're not following my Twitter, my X, Twitter, my X feed or whatever, you're missing it. And when I hear people, the first thing they love to do is, I don't like that. They love to tell you what they don't do. I don't watch TV. I don't read. Well, that's good. Thank you very much. I don't read. Okay. You're proud of that? Yeah. I don't do anything. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Now, look at today's stuff, which is so incredibly good. It's not even funny. Give me an example. Here we go. Breitbart says religious identification among Democrats crashes 20 points in 20 years. And they're showing a bunch of drag queens dressed as nuns or whatever. Now, I am irreligious and connect with absolutely no established faith system or mystical worldview. But I can tell you that what is important when determining the parameters of this issue is to find out why people are not believers and not if they believe. That is the issue, not if they don't. There is a Buddhist. A Buddhist is an atheist. They are without theism. There are people who don't accept Christianity because they're Jews. Well, I'll give them a pass. See, there are groups of people called Brights, and Brights are somebody who hold their worldview is naturalistic. It's not supernatural, mystical, whatever. Has nothing to do with the morality. Has nothing to do with any of that stuff. So they don't really tell you the whole story. They don't really tell you the whole story. They give you this kind of a half-ass story, kind of, sort of, maybe, sort of. All right, here's one for you. One of the most incredible people in the world, I think, who is just a genius, is Elon Musk, who accuses the media of ignoring the border crisis because they are told to ignore it. Elon Musk is a genius, and his genius is being able to recite and reiterate the obvious gems of reality that seem so profound. And you say, yes, that is incredible. Here's one for you. This is a wonderful story. Here's a guy who said, by the way, Sirius XM host and MSNBC author Dean somebody said ex-president Donald Trump must die in prison to deter anyone else from attempting a coup. Okay. This is what happens when you're just allowed to say stuff and you say, okay. Listen to this. I brought up something called, this is Marina Abramovich, called spirit cooking. Remember spirit cooking? Do you remember the story? And I went back and I looked at the New York Times. And they said that the conspiracy theory, I love it. Remember, I just did a brand new video on conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theory goes, it's not a conspiracy theory, but it goes back to October of 2016 when WikiLeaks released hacked emails from the account of John Podesta. When the chairman of Hillary's campaign, the emails included one from Abramovich, who she discussed inviting him to a spirit cooking dinner at her home. Now they called it again, a conspiracy theory. And as I've told you, who is she conspiring with? Who is she conspiring with? You see what happens? People use the term not to speak of anybody, a real conspiracy. They use it to mean some half-baked, crazy idea. That's what they mean. They don't mean, but this is the New York Times still using the term conspiracy theory. And this is so important. And I want you, if there's one thing that we train you, teach you, make you understand and grasp, is that this word is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's wrong. And it's done all the time. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. It's a word. This is the New York Times. They have style books and guides, and they have to use the right word, and they have to do all of this jazz. It's just incredible. Where are they getting this word from? No, Abramovich is conspiring with whom? Where is the illegal? Well, that's not what I mean. But we use it all the time. So if there's one thing I'm going to tell you, and if there's one thing you're going to do, dear friends, please, I beg you, understand what this word means. Now, at the time, I never saw anything like this in my life. Sparky says, it's literally a conspiracy theory. Yes, the word literally. You're right. Very good, Sparky. Correct, sir. During the time of this is an example of, if you want to do, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to use terms, just us, our group of people. If you want to derail us, give us a story and let us take off. During the Podesta period of time, during these moments, during these, oh my God, these, I don't know what the word is, these periods that we went through, there was a interesting thing that happened. At the time this happened, there was a reference to something that had the operative word pizza in it. And I thought, here they go. They're being drawn into this. And overnight, I said, here we go. Because of your penchant, well, some of you, your penchant, your predisposition, your predilection towards whatever. Overnight, John Podesta, his brother, Hillary, everybody was involved in, and Uma, and I'm not going to bring up the famous laptop story. It was wild. And I'm saying they're setting you up. Sure enough. And now that Abramovich is coming up, watch what happens again. And all these, the toast of YouTube, these folks who came about, they were just the best. They're coming back, and they're going to just dust off this stuff. And they're going to take this email and this particular story and this particular fact and thread them together into this narrative that is insanity. And you're going to watch people who will make Hillary Clinton the grand cyclops, this cannibal, this whatever. I mean, just it's like nothing. I saw it during COVID. I saw it during the great pedophile. They're still doing it. One in particular, stories of kids in tunnels. I'm saying, wait a minute, stop, hold it. You're hurting the cause. You're making us look stupid. Where are you getting? It doesn't matter. I know this. I know it. What do you mean you know it? What are you doing? Well, there's a WikiLeaks. Wait a minute. Don't you know what this means? Don't you know what caramel sauce means? I don't know what you got. And that's when I went, and they went, And it's like, it's happening. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Now we've got to figure a way how to take the radical right and have them fall into their rabbit hole and not remain unscathed. I don't know. We have to figure out something there, something that happens with these folks, because I'm telling you, they're setting you up again, and you're going to fall for it, and you're going to jump into it, and you're going to take one thing instead of saying, oh, that's interesting. I think we should look into that. Oh, no. No. You're going to tell me, hey, have you seen the Amazing Splitsky? Who? I'm just making an email. She's on YouTube. Let me say, oh, no, don't send me anything. I get these all the time. What are you sending me these things? No, you're going to stop sending me this stuff. I'm not seeing anything, especially if it's a video. I'm not interested. I've never seen. Okay. No, because people in our group love, it's like when you have an album. I discovered Miles Davis before you did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, my brother told me. People want to jump into something. Well, I've been following him for a long time. He's great. And every once in a while, I meet somebody and say, they don't just believe it. Oh, I could tell you a lot of stuff where I'll say, let me point some things out to you. None of these, I don't know where to go with these, but I will point out facts that will just blow your mind, what they mean. Whatever it is, whether it's 9/11, Vietnam, Watergate, JFK, anything, I'll tell you a fact or show you something that I can prove that happened, but I don't know who's responsible, what it means. I'm perfectly content with that. Not our friend, no. John Podesta turned into this high priest of something, and I thought, oh no. Now, let me just say something. Could be. He could be the Grand Cyclops. He could be. He could be a Baphomet and some Satan. He could be. And I'm saying, watch what happens. But is it that aside? Now that I've left for that very long preparatory statement, don't you think it's interesting that of all the people that our friend Zelensky would get to help his cause, he would pick her? Why do you think that is? Out of all the people, they're setting bait. They're baiting the field. And they're pulling you in. And they're waiting for you to say something. Because they know how you are. You're going to go nuts with this. So I did a little research. Remind people this is who she is. This is what she did. She had that Microsoft deal. They may or may not have canceled it. She's creepy, freaky. I told you, not as creepy and freaky as a guy in whatever it is who put his own excrement in cans and sold it in an art. I mean, Serrano's Piss Christ, and we've always seen stuff like that. So this is a lot to consider. Be very, very, very careful. And always remember, take it. Say, all I have is a fact. This is a fascinating fact. Let's go deeper into this fact. Let's try to connect this fact with this fact. But don't fill in the blank to come up with a narrative that you and your friends can share, or that the amazing Jablitsky or whatever on her. Oh, there was one. Well, here's what I've done is I've unpacked this and I've decoded this. Oh, you decoded this. Oh, isn't she great? No, she's making this up. No, she's decoding. The decoding. Don't get me started. Well, you know what this means, right? Well, this means, well, you notice how, you see how the squirrel is grabbing the nut with his right hand? Yeah. That goes back to a Sanhedrin. What? I mean, maybe, but it's like, just got to get those clicks. Got to get those clicks. That's where we are today. Anything to feed the monster, to feed the maw, to feed the runaway train of metrics. Anything. If it works, we're in. And some high priestess of BS will come out of nowhere and just ruin the cause. And I'm not going to get lumped in this stuff. Sorry. I think all of us, I've learned stuff that I never even thought possible, which I talk about on my private channel, not here. That's all. I only look at the evidence. That's all. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Don't ever change and mean it sincerely. Thank you so much for being with us. And to, Sparky, thank you for the inimitable, the ineffable, the absolutely, your generosity. Thank you. Don't also forget, my friends, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Go and look and see what is available for you. God bless them. And also, My Patriot Supply. Take take $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit order. Dear friend, I'm telling you, as I know my hand, there is going to be a complete and total shutdown of not food, but stores. And you've got to hedge against this now. Have a great and a glorious day. Oh, and one more thing. Do me this favor. And I'm going to ask you this again, and you've been very, very good. I want you to go immediately to Mrs. L's YouTube channel. There it is right here. And I want you to sign up. She has the most wonderful, brilliant, the most informative, like nobody's business. She is the way it's supposed to be. It's not this usual lunacy. There it is right now. Go there right now and sign up. I've got it all. All you got to do is click onto that and it goes right to the I think I knocked my thing. Okay, there we go. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for everything. We'll see you tonight. Remember, think, 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 think. Be very scrupulous with your faith and comment as you see fit. And remember these words. Excuse me, I almost forgot. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.